Welcome to The Awakening. My name is Israel Bosher, and I am your host. I have come out of retirement at a very unlikely time, wanting to speak on something that was more gratifying and edifying. Wanted to talk about some inspirational and motivational highlights that have taken place in our country today. But instead, as Americans, and I can say this without any discrepancy, but as Americans, no matter the creed, nationality, your race, your origin, your background, your personal, political, religious, and mindful views, today we realize that we are all a part of the human race. We, as a people, we mourn. There has been a great loss in our country, and I say that in saying this loss is not a presidential candidate or a presiding president. This loss is not a religious figure. This loss is not a civil rights activist. What makes this loss so great is that this loss is tangible. It represents the people and their dreams of inspiration, goals, and determination, the achievement of obtaining such goals and still maintain the purest form of humanity regardless of the success achieved. And that's hard to say for many of our wealthy individuals. They tend to lose sight. They tend to separate themselves. They tend to place themselves in a bubble or a cubicle, separating themselves, but this one individual is tangible. And when I got the news, I was touched as if I knew this individual personally because of what he represented himself as across media. He touched the house of everyone, of every race, of every origin in our society today. We can't say that for many individuals. There are people out there who don't know much, if not anything, about the sport in which he played, but they knew him, his struggles, his perseverance, his achievement, and his success. If there were to be anything negative about this being, it was in the light of humanity, not in the light of filmmaking, but in the natural light. And you can't say that for many celebrities. Very few can touch us so deeply. I'm not saying that our celebrities are not in our homes. What I'm saying to you, the reason that we mourn is not because of the 5 championships, the 15 All-Star Game appearances, the 4 All-Star Game MVP awards, the 2 NBA Finals. Impressive enough, there's only a few who reach such heights. He entered the NBA directly from high school, and won 5 NBA championships. He was an 18-time All-Star, 15-time member of the All NBA team, 12-time member of the All Defensive team, and the 2008 NBA Most Valuable Player. He was widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time. That's not why we mourn him, though. We're not mourning because of his credentials. We're not mourning because of his success. We're not mourning because of all the awards he obtained. We mourn because he was graceful in his growth, growing from a young adult into an adult, into a young man, into a man. We watch his growth. And as he grew, he himself realized that he outgrown the challenge which was set in front of him, that there was a greater challenge that he has not yet mastered. See, this is where it becomes so real. He took himself away from the mainstream of everyone's media and placed himself into the right stream of the American's dream, and that is to be a father, a husband. There's much more than being a provider. He did not want to miss out of the growth of his little girls any longer. I remember when he first joined the NBA and they gave his background. The reason he was so successful is because he pushed himself, as many greats have done, harder than anyone else. He loved what he strived to reach, to obtain. Therefore, he believed in putting in the work, as many greats have done. So that goes without saying, if you want to be the greatest in anything, it takes hard work and dedication to your goals and to your dreams. We, as a people, would never forget what he brought to the NBA. But the overall response to his tragic end was so shocking, not because of the tragic event that occurred, but because he was one of us. He was one of them. And no great in history of the sport of the NBA has ever not lived their days. We still have greats around us. Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. We still have greats. Dirk. We still have greats. We still have greats. And we have placed in our minds and our hearts and in our conscience that these greats we will watch grow old and tell our children of their story. And the reason we mourn is because a great has been blotted out of the fabric of our society, removed from the storyline and placed in history. That's why we mourn. We're not mourning, though it is tragic. That's not why we mourn. We mourn more so because he didn't go alone. And if you're listening to this, if you're listening to what I'm saying, I know if you couldn't gather your thoughts, couldn't put them in proper perspective, then let me help you. We mourn more so because he did not perish alone. If anyone out there is a parent, is a father, then you know where I'm going with this. I would be just as touched if his tragic end was only him. But I'm more so saddened because his tragic end was with the love, his baby, whose life ended with her father. And no parent, no father ever wish that on their child. See, this is what the media couldn't express. If I ever am to meet my end, when that day comes to the Most High, I pray that my loved ones do not meet the same tragic end with me. And you have to ask yourself the question, what would be your final thoughts? Aboard that chopper. As a father, you look over into both of the parents on that chopper who lost their loved one. Because, see, that was, to my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a coach, his wife, and his daughter on the helicopter. And I know everybody's saying, well, he had his wife with him. But see, as parents, you would know what I'm going with this. He put our child above our own. And those parents, because I know I would hold my child in their time of fear. That is the most tragic part of this tragedy, that your loved one did not get to achieve the success and goals that was promised to them. Your family is in our prayers, and if that means anything, because your pain, Mrs. Bryant, and to your children. I know you guys lost your father and your husband, but my God, that little girl, I can only pray that you guys find strength and comfort in each other in this time of grief. And we lost a champion January 26, 2020. But they lost a father, a husband, and a friend. To the Bryant family, believe me when I tell you that the pain was felt around the world, and America mourns with you. And I hate that this is my first podcast that I had to speak on it, and I hope I had not offended the Bryant family. Kobe Bryant was born August the 23rd, 1978. He was an American professional basketball player, a shooting guard. He played his entire 20-season career in the NBA, National Basketball Association, with the Los Angeles Lakers. And based on his accuracy in shooting the ball, he was nicknamed the Black MAMBA. And his daughter was inspired by her father. Kobe Bryant was born in Philadelphia. Once again, my name is Israel Basha. I am the host of The Awakening. Today is January 28th, 2020. And my prayers goes out to the Bryant family, and I say to the rest of America, you just never know when God will call you home. If you never know your time, make each day precious to you and tell the ones in your life how much you love them, comfort them, hold them, appreciate them. And when they grow up and ask you, why do you smother me with so much affection, then you tell them the story of the Black Mamba and his successor. He's behind his daughters and a wife. A 7-month-old baby will grow up without her father and her sister. May God keep you and may God bless you. Until next time, America.
That they may have an opportunity to live in a country where the Constitution covers them the same way that it covers the white children. Enough is enough.
This is like an abusive relationship.
Their reaction is just like any other American. They felt like justice was not served.
Welcome to the House of Basha, another moment where time has stood still for the African American community.
We tend to place people in positions to where we cannot reach.